Alright, so I went for my first photo walk with the Canon R6 Mark II and the 35mm lens, and I thought I would just give you my first impressions of the camera and kind of talk about the last couple of days with it. I think today is Thursday. I received the camera on Tuesday. The weather wasn't great, so I didn't use it much except for like just kind of playing around. So first of all, when I first took it out of the box and shook it, I don't know why I shook it, but it did. Something rattled around in there, and I had never had a camera with IBIS before, or a camera that rattled. And so one of the things that was really weird to me at first was the fact that like the camera rattled, the sensor rattles in the IBIS carrier. I didn't know that, and that was weird. But out of that technology came something amazing. And I've heard this before, and people have said this online for certain cameras, and also this camera, is that these cameras now are so good that they can turn night into day. And I thought, okay, let me try that, because by the time I got the camera and played around with it, it was already dark. And you literally can take night shots, and it is so good. You can brighten it up, and you can use the features on the camera, and it's fantastic. It just brightens it way up. It is really fantastic. Even shooting well into like 25,000 ISO doesn't really affect it. The other thing that I noticed, I took it on my first photo walk this morning. I shot a lot more. I'm typically a film shooter. And one of the things that I loved about moving from digital to film was the fact that I shot way less, and I was more discerning with my photos. And even with my X100V, I'm more discerning, because this kind of feels like film. This kind of fakes you out. So you think it's film, but it's really not. I'm more discerning on that camera. What I find with DSLRs and mirrorless cameras is that I shoot a lot more. So just for a simple walk today, I took about 130 frames. You know, on film I might shoot 10. On this I might shoot 30, maybe, on a walk like that. And I go for these walks quite often, so the data is pretty solid. And that was weird, and I don't know why the camera makes you do that. It's funny. And then the third thing, and the weirdest thing ever, and this is the biggest change for me, you know, having a Fuji camera as my everyday carry, is with this camera, I now have to edit again. And this feels weird because when I was young in photography, like 15 years ago, I took terrible pictures and I edited them up to mediocre pictures. So I thought editing was the essence of photography, at least, you know, the modern age. What I came to realize was that creativity, you should get it in pre. You should make good photos in the camera as the shutter is clicking, not try to fix them in post. And this has been really weird for me because I haven't had to do any editing from this camera, and now with this camera I have to sit in Lightroom and do all these things. I do love the classic chrome preset that is on the Fujis, and that is one really tough pill to swallow. I almost didn't buy a Canon work camera. I almost bought another Fuji, but there were some trade-offs there. But the big advantage is the baked-in film presets and film recipes, and I missed that, so I had to find a classic chrome lookalike. Classic chrome was modeled on the Kodak Kodachrome film. So I went and found Jamie Windsor, who has a wonderful YouTube channel, has Kodachrome presets for sale. I think they're like 20, 25 bucks. I bought those, and it got me really close. And I'll show those as this video kind of progresses, and I'll put some more at the end. But it's weird having to edit again. I hadn't had to do that in a really long time. And I think also my cell phone, I do a lot of video for work. And I edit everything on the phone, and so it feels really weird to sit down at a computer. It's almost an impediment now to creativity. And I really feel like we're getting to this place, especially with the smartphones, where people don't expect to have to go to like an edit bay. And I think it's even kind of changing me. So this camera has been kind of, it feels like I'm going back in time, even though it's got some great and wonderful features. So this has been hard, but you know, so far so good. So I'll put these pictures up so you can kind of see what they look like. I'm trying my damnedest to emulate classic chrome. All right, have a look.